Hi everyone, I wanted to provide this brief audio to help out with the instructions for our signature assignment, our Global Health Issues and Ethics paper. Now, before you get all freaked out and stressed, I wanted to post this early so those of you that like to work ahead can do so. This paper is not due until Sunday, December 3rd. So you have several weeks to work on it. I just wanted to give you a head start in case you do want to work ahead. I will post this audio as well as the instructions noted for the Global Health Issues and Ethics paper in week 12, week 13, as well as week 14, the week that is due. So again, this is to give those that like to work ahead the opportunity to do so. Also, hopefully gives you plenty of opportunity to ask any questions that you may have regarding the requirements of this paper. It is pretty straightforward. So first of all, I want you to note that it is definitely our signature assignment within this class, and it is going to be worth 125 total points. And the purpose of the assignment is to really reinforce how global health issues interact and intersect with different ethics theories. There are really no global health issues that I can think of that don't have some kind of ethical implication, a pros and cons, or some type of ethical position within. So it should be fairly straightforward in that respect. The big challenge is going to be really focusing on a topic that interests you and one that you have passion for. And it can be something that you've wanted to learn more about, or something that you already have a fair amount of knowledge on and have a particular interest or strong opinion on. So let me just scroll down through the requirements. And I know that our syllabus specifies font size and formatting. In all honesty, I don't care which format you use. I'm not an English teacher. I want you to write in a style that is comfortable for you. Really, what I am trying to get from this paper is your honesty, your passion, thoughtfulness, quality of the paper. There are minimum requirements as far as length, but more importantly, I think is, what you're trying to include in the paper. So I'd rather you concentrate on conveying your thoughts, opinions, and passion on your subject rather than concentrating on formatting. I would appreciate good grammar, just because I have a very strong background in English and grammar, and it just makes my life easier if you write with proper grammar and correct spelling. So, one thing that I am absolutely passionate about, sorry about that, had to get a gulp of water. So one thing I'm really passionate about in your paper is in-text citations. You will be required to use 5 resources in this paper, and you do need to cite them within your text. So I gave a little example here. So if you're saying, studies have shown, or Mr. Johnson said, you need to cite that within your text. That is going to be the biggest place where you will lose points, other than, not supplying enough content to your paper. But this is where I turn into a huge stickler. If you don't cite your resources within text, it could be misconstrued as plagiarism. We don't want to raise that red flag. We don't want that to ever be a question. So if you're ever in doubt whether you should cite a source, just cite it. There's no such thing as too much citations, in my opinion. So your paper will have the following requirements. Part 1 is going to be your introduction. So we want to find out what your interest in the topic is, why you chose to write on it. If you have a strong opinion on it, go ahead and state that and why you have that opinion. I'd like this to be at least 2 pages minimum. There are no penalties for exceeding that minimum, but I would like at least 2 pages on the introduction of the topic itself. And then the second part is going to be where we are talking about the ethical aspects. Now, This is where we're going to take into consideration the pros and cons and the ethical implications or conflicts that could be considered within your topic. So this is going to reference back those ethical theories that we talked about early in the semester. And I would like you to make mention of the particular theory or theories. Usually there's going to be more than one. There's not really kind of a one size fits all on ethical theories for any aspect. So please feel free to use more than one to apply to the ethical portion of your paper. Make sure to cite any sources that you're using with regard to the ethics portion, just as you would in the body of your paper. And then finally, part 3 is going to be your reference page. And again, I'm not really picky on the format. I would like to see at least 5 references used, and they must be reputable references. So please don't use Wikipedia or any fluff like HuffPost or anything like that. If you have any kind of question as to what an acceptable resource is, please feel free to ask me. And last but not least, I've included the ethics designated course requirements and the global designated course requirements within this paper so you can kind of see what we're trying to get from this paper. Please feel free to ask if you have any questions at all about this. Best way to reach me during this time in the middle of registration is at email at tinafreeman@cwidaho.cc. Please be sure to include your section number in the subject line so I can reference back to which section of the classes you're in. And I look forward to reading these papers. When you turned in your possible ideas, I saw some great topics in there. So I look forward to seeing these. And please, again, not due until Sunday, December 3rd. Just wanted to give you a head start, and I will post these instructions again next week as well as after Thanksgiving, the week that this paper's due. Have a great week, everyone.